So one of the members from Starship's upcoming boy group, Junhwan, is officially not debuting because of some really serious allegations. I've briefly touched on this situation before, but today we're diving deeper into everything that led up to this point. From the online hate this minor has been getting, to accusations ranging from school bullying, creating deep fakes of classmates, misogynistic behavior, and even allegedly saying disturbing things about a female idol. It's a lot. We'll talk about it all. The funeral wreath, the backlash, and finally, Starship's decision to pull him from the debut lineup. Just for context, Starship Entertainment is a pretty major company in K-pop. They're behind groups like IVE, Gravity, Monsta X, and more. They announced they'd be debuting a new boy group in the second half of 2025, and to hype it up, they launched an idol survival show. On May 5th, the final lineup was revealed, 8 members under the group name IDID. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Starship and group names lately. First Kiki, now IDID. It's giving Microsoft Word autocorrect. From the very start, the lineup for Starship's new group stirred up a lot of frustration, especially around one name, Junhwan. Fans who were following the show in real time felt he simply didn't have the talent or stage presence to justify being in the final lineup. And let's be real, when a company seems to have a pre-decided debut lineup but still runs a full-blown survival show with eliminations for showbiz drama, it never ends well. So here's what happened. Starship eliminated popular contestant and instead added Junhwan, someone who wasn't even ranked high, as their company pick. Yeah, that decision dropped on May 5th, so all of this is still fresh. And to understand the backlash, it's important to point out that Junhwan was far from a fan favorite. He ranked low in fan votes, barely had any screen time, and had only trained for about 5 months. Compare that to someone like Yong, who trained for nearly 6 years and still got cut in the final episode, or Hyun, a clear fan favorite with international support, who also didn't make it. One Reddit theory pointed out that Junhwan's selection might have been tied to Starship's obsession with this same age concept. Whatever the reason, fans started calling out the decision, and now many are saying Junhwan should have never been in the lineup to begin with. The frustrating part? Starship hasn't issued a proper statement since, and even fans of the debuting members are starting to lose patience. And if you want to know how unexpected Junhwan's selection was, just look at the reaction of the main female producer when it was announced. She looked completely stunned. Netizens, they were angry. And even now, when Starship finally said Junhwan won't be debuting due to psychological distress, that anger hasn't gone away. A lot of people still blame Starship for how they handled the show, and how it set him up for this kind of backlash in the first place, because that's when the accusations started snowballing. Not long after the lineup reveal, anonymous posts, allegedly from Junhwan's former classmates, started popping up. One of the claims that he only got picked because of family ties in the industry. And then it got darker. Someone claiming to be a middle school classmate accused him of doing some pretty disturbing stuff. They said Junhwan used to rate girls out loud based on looks, talked trash behind people's backs, sometimes even about students from other schools, and that they were one of the victims. There was also a whole thing about a soccer club, which turned out to be more of a casual boys group than an actual team. But in that group chat, they allegedly photoshopped girls' faces and judged them based on their looks. And Junhwan was supposedly part of that too. They also mentioned that if Junhwan had always wanted to be in entertainment, his friends would have known, but he never gave off those vibes back then. In fact, there were even rumors at the time that he was sleeping around, especially tied to a girl he was dating. And get this, during a modeling livestream he did, they say he brought out old middle school yearbooks and continued to judge girls' looks live on stream. The person streaming with him even warned him like, hey, you're trying to be a celeb, be careful what you say. But apparently Junhwan didn't care and just kept going. So now, after his sudden debut, a lot of his former classmates were calling him out and saying he doesn't deserve it. They were criticizing him hard, saying he's not idol material at all based on how he acted back then. Another commenter said the same things as his classmates alleged, that he dated girls in 8th grade, did live streams, and rated girls. They said he wasn't serious about becoming an idol. He just acted arrogant because he was into music a bit. They were surprised he debuted at all, but once they heard he was a director's pick, it all made sense. And his friends hyped him up for all the wrong reasons, and he clearly got way too full of himself. These accusations were only going to get worse with every passing day. There was a group chat of his alleged classmates that was posted online, and in this group chat there was even his alleged ex-girlfriend. They said he was kind of known at school for being overly obsessed with girls and bragging about dating and hooking up a lot, even back in middle school. They claimed he was caught being intimate with his girlfriend on the school's gym stairs, and later even talked about it during a live stream. You guys can read the chat if you want. Photos presumably from an alleged ex-girlfriend were also provided as proof, though we don't know if that's true. His own alleged messages were leaked between him and his friend, in which he was using sexist language. I can't read these out loud without getting demonetized. Another set of messages came out, and it looks like, allegedly, Junhwan was threatening and harassing someone who apparently had dirt on him, stuff he clearly didn't want getting out. In those messages, he insulted the person's looks and made inappropriate comments. Just super gross and messed up if it's real. Netizens actually sent funeral wreaths to Starship Entertainment to protest and demand Junhwan's removal from the group. Personally, I really don't like the idea of using funeral wreaths as a protest. It feels extreme and kind of unsettling. I get that netizens were angry, but I think there are better ways to speak up without going that far. Sadly, it's becoming a trend now. We saw it happen with Junhwan. Bunnies sent funeral wreaths, and even Suga got funeral wreaths for his DUI. It's like this is turning into the go-to method of protest in K-pop. Well, the final straw in the allegations against him, the one that made even netizens who weren't interested in the group take notice, was the claim from an alleged ex-girlfriend who said Junhwan made explicit comments about a particular idol whose name was redacted. He was accused of school bullying, using extremely disgusting and vulgar language, and was even accused of cursing at his teacher. It was also noted that since he had rich parents, he allegedly got away with all of it because they covered up for him. Now, keeping in mind that Junhwan was about to debut in a group under the same company as Kiki and IVE, their fandoms were not having it. Comments like, "genuinely repulses me," and "now you're telling me he's going to be in the industry with all these women, some of which are minors?" This is so disgusting and worrying. The fact that he's able to be in the same spaces as all these young girls is terrifying. What if he were to act on his words and do the things he says? He is dangerous. Still, Starship didn't respond to any of the fans' concerns until weeks later. On June 2nd, Starship Entertainment denied all the rumors about Park Junhwan, saying they had confirmed through his school records and staff that he was a responsible student. They claimed the online accusations came from fake accounts pretending to be classmates. They also said Junhwan, who is still a minor, had suffered serious mental distress and decided to step away from group activities. Starship said they would support him privately and take legal action against those spreading false info or harassing him online. Though he won't be debuting with IDID, they asked fans to respect his decision and support his future. The agency also shared a handwritten apology letter from the person who started the rumors. Dated May 28, 2025, the individual admitted to spreading false claims without verifying anything and acknowledged how their actions caused serious harm to Park Junhwan, his family, and his fans. To this, netizens only had three types of reactions. First, there were people who believed the statement and felt sorry for Junhwan. Second, those who blamed Starship Entertainment for how they handled the situation. They believed the company was the main reason things escalated this far. Comments like, "the person who spread the rumor is the worst, but Starship seriously mishandled this." Now they've had to let go of their own company pick member. The final episode is only a month away. This is because this member was chosen by the company. He didn't have fans, only antis. I watched the show late and was satisfied because my pick debuted. But on X, formerly Twitter, even people whose picks made it were raging because they didn't like the final lineup. This is Starship's fault. They eliminated a popular member in the survival show and picked someone outside the ranking as a company pick for the final lineup. That already made fans resentful. Then the school bullying and rumors came out, and the company ignored it until now, suddenly announcing his withdrawal. If they were going to do this, why even hold a survival show? Just debut who you want from the start. And third, people who are still skeptical about the whole situation. Comments like, "Starship has offered no proof that it's not true other than their own word," which is worth very little given the fact that he made the lineup of this group because his parents had ties to Starship. This is despite him getting basically no votes. He was consistently toward the bottom the whole show and performing poorly the entire show, to the point that even creative editing couldn't make it look like he could sing or dance well. Another said, "The Starship company statement is misleading to say the least. None of the accusations have been proven to be false or from online impersonators." People defending the allegations pointed out that the chats weren't entirely anonymous. They argue that the posts included things like photos from school, club event details, and never-before-seen pictures of Park Junhwan, suggesting the people posting really did know him and were likely actual classmates or peers. They also claim the person who took back their statements may have done so under pressure. One commenter wrote that the girl likely recanted because of company pressure, and also clarified that they weren't necessarily her stories, meaning she was just passing on what other girls allegedly told her about Junhwan's behavior. At the same time, others remained doubtful. One commenter said, "I'm sorry, but from what I saw, it was just screenshots of someone saying there were rumors. Someone actually come forward and said he did anything to them?" They also questioned the reliability of the sources, saying, "Am I just supposed to believe that the original poster was telling the truth, and now is lying about lying because Starship is pressuring them?" In short, supporters of the claims believe the sources were real classmates and that the original accuser might have been pressured to backtrack. Others think the whole situation is murky and based on secondhand rumors, not direct accusations or verified verified identities. Whether you believe the accusations or not, I think we can all agree that the way this was handled left a lot of fans frustrated and confused. Junhwan might not be debuting now, but he's still young, and this doesn't have to be the end of his journey. Still, this whole thing is a reminder that in K-pop, your past, even unconfirmed rumors, can come back and ruin everything before it even starts. It also raises a bigger question. How much power do companies really have over public narratives in K-pop, and how much should fans trust what they say? Let me know what you think in the comments.